Okay, guys, so right now we're going to make a tier list for Dragonflight 10.1.7. Okay, it's going to be like mainly focused on shuffle, but also, you know, taking 2s, 3s into account as well. But I would say mainly heavily focused on shuffle. We're sitting here in the Emerald Dream right now, by the way, waiting for 10.2. But it's time to make the 10.1.7 tier list. I feel like we always start with Mage, so let's stay on that track. And also start with Mage now. Okay, we're going to start with Fire Mage. Fire Mage, guys. By the way, guys, so if you haven't seen, Mages are absolutely dominating the top of the shuffle ladder, at least in EU. They're absolutely popping off. Hold up, let me show. Mage, 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 Mage. But most of them are like Arcane / Frost, but a few Fire as well. And, yeah, Mage is very good. The question is, are all the Mage specs S tier, or do we have to, like, spread them out a bit? Like, Fire. It's very good. Solo queue, mainly focused on solo shuffles, but also 2s and 3s. But I would say, like, because shuffle is kind of what I've been playing the most, and it's kind of, like, what I think is the most relevant, probably, then I'll, yeah. But it's not only shuffle in mind. Lower S. I think lower S. Alright, guys, so Fire is going lower S tier. Arcane, guys, so the thing is, I want to put one Mage spec in, like, lower or higher A tier. Like, I don't think all 3 should be S. The question is, which one goes higher A and which ones go S? The thing about Arcane, in the right hands, it's insane. Right? But it's not really a spec you see a ton of, okay? But if you look at the ladder, obviously it's insane. Because there's so many Arcane Mages on both NA and EU in the tippity top. The highest player in the world is Arcane in Shuffle. And such a pity. Shout out to Pity, he's my friend. I just like, for that matter, on the high end, we're going to put Arcane in S. Maybe even like above Fire, just because it's crushing it so hard. And you know what? Maybe put Frost higher A. Maybe Frost higher A. Even though, like, Frost, you see so many more. Guys, is all Mage specs S tier, dude? Like, if you look at just, like, the freaking ladder, like, Frost, Arcane, Fire, Frost. Like, Mages is crushing it, man. Like, Arcane, Frost, Arcane, Fire, Arcane, Frost. Like, there's not really any class that has this many specs, like, that high. You know what? This is it. I'm gonna put Fire higher A for now. Things might get bumped down a bit, guys. And yeah, Mage in general is crushing it. I guess we can leave it at that, and then we'll go with this. Okay, guys. Now we're going on to let's do DK. So Frost is like one of those specs that I feel like throughout the whole X-Pack, they've pretty much been bad. They've had like some moments where they've kind of like shown a bit. For example, like when Frost Dragon was good. It's not F tier. I think C tier, yes. C tier, I think. It was up here at some point, but now it's kind of been taken down a little bit. I want to refer to the ladder. You know, keep in mind, guys, I play shuffles on this MR, right? But I think it's nice to look at the ladder and kind of see what's actually performing. Because only going off my memory and kind of how I feel, you know, we can get it more accurate than that. So I want to kind of look at... Because, like, someone might say it's the best spec in the game. It's this. But I think, like, looking at, like, top 100 is a kind of good way to see as well. It's very good, though. Don't get me wrong. I'm thinking, like, higher A tier, guys. Higher A tier, lower S tier. Is like kind of what I'm thinking there. This is my opinion, okay? Well, it's my opinion with also I'm using some type of numbers or like stats there a little bit, but it's just my opinion, right? Let's go to Monk, guys. Okay, so again, EU more Windwalker heavy, NA more DK heavy. I kind of feel like Windwalker, it's a bit better overall, but they're very even. Like I can see both sides. Like I can see either one being crowned the best melee spec in the game. And guys, by the way, if you see something high A could be low S could be high A. Like, don't like fixate too much on that, I would say, because I think things will bump up, bump down as tiers fill out, basically. It's good, man, but dude, I swear, Mistweavers struggle into holy pot lobbies. Like, in an H-pot lobby or meta, at least in many matchups, I feel like they kind of struggle. At least that's kind of what I've seen. Like, in recent times, I feel like they kind of just took a little bit of a hit to their viability, like, with the holy pot of takeover. So, the lower CR, the more of them you see, it seems, or at least, like, 2-1 range. 2-4 plus, which kind of where I play, this is pretty accurate. Like, one spec might have, like, a good comp they can play and kind of, you know, do good on. But this is more in general. I think Fistweaver in general is pretty bad right now in shuffles and overall. Or it's not amazing, at least. Wait, this is, like, mainly focused on shuffle just because that's what I've been doing the most. I'm thinking, like, lower A, high B. But, like, keep in mind, like, A is good. Like, high B is good as well. Like, high B is not bad. I think if one spec is going F there, I'm going to put that there, man. For now. For now. Because one spec has to take the spot. There must always be a Lich King. There must almost be an F tier spec. Okay? No matter what. Okay, but Preservation. I would say one of the weaker healers, but not trash. I'll put it like somewhere in B tier. B tier, like high B, whatever. It's not bad at all. But in my sprints, in my shuffles, you don't see much. And when you see them, they usually don't do that well. They're not being played that much. And guys, so one thing in general, like, there are exceptions to this rule. Okay, but in general, when something isn't being played, like, almost at all, it's for a reason, right? But, again, like, there are exceptions. Like, some specs, like, just really work when it's, like, very, very good players at, like, a high level. So, like, therefore, they might, like, be played less overall. But, the general rule is, if it's not being played, it's for a good reason, right? Exceptions prove the rule. So, that's how it goes. Okay, that was... Okay, guys, Augmentation. So, we actually, like, don't have Augmentation on this thing. So, I'm just going to place it. And I'm placing Augmentation in S tier. I'm putting it lower S, guys. Right there. Imagine it. Boom. Right there. Like, kind of like with Windwalker somewhere. Maybe, like, a bit above it. They're very good. Like, S tier somewhere. Maybe, like, a bit. Like, just S tier. But I feel like I see him less than before. But it's a sort of spec. Like, SP has so much utility they can offer a team. You know, a swap. They're good to see. Good pressure. Good cleave as well. PI. They really, really work well in, like, a team situation. And I'll put them, like, somewhere in A. They're good. So let's say Holy's going somewhere higher. I think Disc, I'll put a high B, man. And again, high B is good. That's not a bad score at all. And then I'll put Holy more up here. I'll put Holy higher up. Remember, like, last season, Disc was the king. But yeah, Holy just kind of took over. Okay, Red Paladin is going... It's very good. Like, Red is strong. Also, like, a very popular spec. Like, a lot of people play Red. It's very, very popular, guys. Like, if we look at the stats here, I'm sure it's going to be, like, one of the highest, right? So actually, 2-1 plus is the highest. It's actually like the highest by most metrics, but, like, at the very high end, they kind of fall off a bit. 2-3 solo. It's mostly focused on solo, but also 2-3s. But mostly focused on solo. Yo, Pilly. What's good, what's good, what's good? Guys, H-Bada. I think, like, it has to be the highest ranked healer. I think pretty much by any metric is going to be that. And also just, like, in my lobbies, like, that's kind of how it goes, I feel like. H-Bada, they're pumping. Okay, they're very good. Overall, they're going S tier somewhere. At some point, it was, like, up here. Like, you see, like, sub-rogues all over the high-end brackets. Just crushing it. Now, less of it. But I think, like, sub-rogues should still probably go, like, low S, maybe. Just because of what it can do in the right hands. Maybe higher A. Like, maybe, like, this should be it. Higher A and then Unholy lower S. Okay, we're in Asa row, guys. Asa. I was going to say, like, I actually don't think Asa's all that good right now. Guys, Asa's the least played. Again, I'm not only basing it on, like, what's least played, okay? But I'm taking that into account. Depends on EU NA. I think he's very good in 2s. You're high. I'm not, though. That's the thing. I'm not, though. Higher A. I mean, higher B. Okay, low A. One of those. Higher B. Higher B, man. That's where it's going. If it was 2s, I'll put it higher, but in general, kind of with focus and shovel, I think it's there, man. I think it's there. Personally, that's truly what I think. No, I'm not. No. Well, one thing is like, it's all relative. So like, you do want to kind of even it out because it's all kind of relative, but in a way. But I see what you're saying though. You do want to make it look nice, huh? Oh man. Guys, I think this is actually a good placement. High B on Asa. I'm standing by that. Okay, I'm standing by that one. Okay, guys, Outlaw is actually very good. I played Outlaw myself, and I gotta say, getting Outlaw to 2-1 was one of the easier alt things I did. I've not played him in a bit now, but Outlaw 2-1 was fairly easy. I lost my mind. I'm putting an A, man. Overall, it's not that crazy, but it's very... Okay, actually, let me rephrase that. It's very good. It's very good. The damage is crazy. Bit of like an underdog spec in general. Wow, right? Like usually people play BM is easier usually, and good, a bit underrepresented. I think some specs in general are just kind of underrepresented, man. Very often because they have like one spec of the same class is like historically just better and more popular, and then even when that spec's pretty good, people kind of tend to play that other spec more, you know. But you do see more of them now than you did before, I would say. Man, Hunter's like an interesting one. Because like all 3 specs I think are good. They're all good. Looking at ladder, BM is like not being played that much right now. I might have to go like this, guys. Is MM the best Hunter spec right now? Dude, I actually did not think MM was played this much. Like in every single like metric, it's being played more than BM. I did not expect that, man, at all. Yeah, so A tier is gonna fill up, by the way, but the more in A, the better. Like A is where you want things to be, where they're strong, they feel good, but they're not too strong. Okay, so A, it's good that the specs kind of fill in the A tier, if you know what I'm saying. That's a good thing. Let's do Shaman, dude. Guys, the problem with Ellie, every other Ellie player is a robot. Like they're actually like an AI playing the game. Okay, that's the problem with Ellie. For me, like they're not like really S or I mean maybe higher A. They're like kind of mid to high A probably though. So somewhere like here. I like it somewhere there, man. Enhance is pretty good. Nothing too crazy though, man. I think somewhere in B. Somewhere in B, man. Maybe like higher B. Maybe Disc is higher B. Okay, let's do DH. Tank tier. Dude, I actually asked BDSF about this yesterday. And he said like it's somewhere in A, he said. And I think it is. I think it's one respect that's good, but not too good. Strong. I think they kind of suffer from one thing that Feral does well. Like, it's squishy. A little bit squish, but they have good damage. And also, you know, they have a lot of dodging things. Blur, the freaking jump back, whatever it is. They're solid, they're solid. Maybe Holy bit higher, man. Something like that. Okay, that's DH. One spec that actually is rated here. I think Warrior's like one more that I'm not sure if it's quite S, but it's not B either. I think they're good. We could actually look at some stats here, just kind of check things out a bit. Like in my experience, Arms definitely like takes the Warrior W here. Like the thing is, Fury is a spec that's like more popular on lower CRs, right? Like you don't really see that many Fury Warriors in like high CR. You don't. Awfully, I think it has to be like the worst lock spec now. Somewhere there, man. I think, yeah. I'll put it there. They have good pressure, but it's nothing too crazy right now. Destro's very good. Not sure if it quite makes the S tier. It could, though, actually. Or, like, higher A, lower S, I'm thinking here. Destro's very good. Very, very strong. And you see like quite a bit too in the high end of ladder in EU, but it's probably like somewhere here, I think. Maybe like with MM actually, like kind of that area. Infy's crushing it, dude, on the Destro, but I'll put it somewhere like with Ellie and MM, I think, in that ballpark is good. Man, I love facing Demo because like I can just cleave him down, but I've not faced too many Demos in recent times. But they're still very good. It's like one more A tier spec. So optimally, all specs are A. If like the balancing like was perfect. Alright guys, it is time for the most unbiased part of this tier list. Like if we're talking about top 3 healers, I think Holy Pala, Resto, Holy Priest in that order. And I think Resto is gonna jump up in the S tier somewhere here. To be fair though, 2-4+ shuffles, EU, second most played healer. 2-4 shuffles, NA, second most played healer by a good margin, I would say. Decent margin. Low mid A, dude, I don't know if I can go with him. It's not what it used to be. It is not what it used to be. It ain't. But I think just like through the fact that it's like the most played range is still very good. I think I just got to put it low in the lower S, man. By the way, you know, Fire should probably go low, like this is probably more accurate, man. I just like didn't want to have every single mage spec in S. This is good because now if people say my tier list is wrong, I can just tell them, yo, Pillimake, the highest rated shuffle player in the Milky Way, agrees with me. And then they can't say anything, right? If they disagree. This is genius. So talks. Anytime like anyone has any complaint, I was gonna say Pilly liked it, man, yeah. Like recently, I've actually been having like a pretty good time of shuffles. Been pushing the main, the alt, you know, like 2-7-50, 2-8 the lobby some games. It's been feeling good. I'm playing like a bit lower as well. Some shuffles, and overall it's feeling good. We are squishy. We get trained down a lot. Quite lobby dependent, that I'll say. Some lobbies feel really rough. Pharaoh's going like mid to high A tier. That's where I'm putting it. But I'm happy with that one. I'm happy, guys.